Hello, Apocaboxes. Creek Stewart here for the February 2023 Apocabox.
Meow. Welcome to a very vegan unboxing of the Apocabox. World War II Emergency Fishing Kit. As a vegan, I don't condone the use of this type of a kit. As an example, take this mini harpoon. You can put this on an oar, you can put this on a piece of wood, you can stick this into an animal like a turtle and you can eat it. It would cause immense pain and suffering to the turtle, and it should only be done if it's either that or you die. Using stuff like this in the here and now for practice isn't something I condone, but nevertheless I'm very excited to get this kit, and I'll tell you why. It's a replica, and that's what I'm going to make. I have 7 of these, it's telling me to make 5, so I can make 2 more if I want to. I have 6 of these and it's telling me to make 2, so I have an extra 4. Bit of PVC piping and a wooden handled knife that's extremely sharp with a little bit of scaling on it. Put that in there, seal it tight, put the cork in. He reckons this will float. Well, my water's frozen right now, so it fell in the pond. We'll leave it there and see how long it lasts. Well, there you go. I'm not actually surprised. You actually need to have sealed air to actually do that, and this is not sealed. But it will float initially, and that's the important bit. So this is slightly swollen up, so it's actually a bit of a struggle getting it out here, and when I take the cork off, a load of water poured out. So it's not going to float. If you drop it in the pond and you get it immediately, you can get it back without it sinking. If you leave it a little bit of time, it will sink.
This is a leader storage tool, okay? It's just a block of wood with a cork on top and a couple of notches around to lash leaders onto. I've got 6 or 8 leaders that are included in your kit. This is the replica leader storage tool right here. You'll notice that you take your hooks, you hook them onto the cork, you guide them down the side of your block, and I just use a rubber band to kind of hold them on because I like nice long leaders, so I included some long leaders for you guys. And then on the bottom of this leader storage tool, you had an original like sharpening stone for a hook sharpener on the bottom of this one, but on yours you have an abrasive strip.
This one's designed to keep your spare hooks in. You can attach them to it in various ways, but it also has a nice feature. It has a striker. This could be used temporarily to sharpen hooks, like so. So I'm preparing for a calamity, preparing for an international calamity on a huge scale, and not being able to fish these waters would be very, very problematic to me. Now I would point out to you almost all of the lakes where I live are very pure, and the fish are there because they're stocked every year by the government, because frankly they're overfished, and that would be a very definite factor in grid down. Whatever fish is in the lakes, what in the ponds around here in the rivers, is going to get eaten real quick to the point of almost extinction. Once the fish stocks have recovered naturally, and that'll take some time, I have gill nets and I will use stuff like this because fishing will be a big part of my survival in grid down. But in the here and now, I have no need to practice for this. I don't want to practice for it. I'll have plenty of time in grid down to practice, and I don't want to hurt or harm a creature just for pleasure or for fun. Obviously, if you need to supplement your diet with fish right now because you don't have a sufficient income, then you'll be fishing. Otherwise, you might be doing it as a sport. It's not a really great idea. I kayak a lot, so when I'm going across the lakes, I see a lot of dead fish. Fish that have had these in their gills and had them removed and then been thrown back into the water to survive, and they do for a brief period of time. It's a killing thing. If you're going to kill anything that's sentient and intelligent, and fish are, you might want to consider why you're doing it, and you might want to do it with extreme caution. Include some rawhide bait. This is kind of cool. Apparently it goes white translucent when you put it in on the hooks. I would use this as a last resort.
Now here's something really weird from the original kit, was this package of baits that was included in that kit. So let me read this to you. Ready for use, will keep indefinitely, turns snow white when placed in water, and this ended up being some type of a pigskin.
Well, I got this emergency kit. Is you actually have a dip net, and it's got a little hole around it, and you put a green piece of wood around it. He shows, and you can make a dip net to catch stuff, or just to troll through trying to catch crayfish and stuff. I'd be more inclined to look for a plastic thing to insert into here, and I will keep a lookout for that.
And I would highly recommend that you take a few minutes and you read through that, because there's some really interesting fishing instructions from this original list that talks specifically about how to use some of these tools, references several of the different rigs that we've numbered on the contents list as well. Just a really interesting survival read from the 1940s with a military twist on it. Even some like pep talk encouragement, which I think is pretty cool.
Craig Stewart from Apocabox found 2 of these online and bought them immediately. What's really neat about this piece of paper is these are the original instructions typed up, and there's lots of good ideas in here, some of which I will be stealing. So here it is. First off, I put 100 meters of paracord on this one. It's not part of the kit he sent, but I thought it was a good idea to have paracord. Then this is even more exciting for you guys. Apocabox wire traps. I put this in as well. This goes in with the bobber and with the rawhide bait. This one is for the spare things. I did it slightly differently from him, so it's actually much more of a stabilized environment for the wire, so it won't snag. This is a drag hug, and I don't know whether I'd ever use this or not, but you'll see what I did to this, and all of them. I put cork on the sharp bits. Good idea. The net's folded up around one of these, plastic, and shoved in here. This is just the harpoon. Inside here is the instructions from the original kit, the actual World War II instructions. I also printed out how to do a couple of knots, and I've also got some knots from the stuff he sent. It's always a good idea to protect sharp points from entering your skin. There's one of the lures all ready to go. Inside here is a plastic ziplock, which is always useful to keep bait in. But inside here is one of the Apocabox knives. There's another hand lure, throw it in. This is a knife that's not waterproof, and that's why I wanted to put another knife into the kit. Another lure, spare cord, and over here I kind of like this one. Got a spare thing again, but this one's got gloves attached to it. You really should be using gloves when you're doing this kind of thing. So that's it. Huples Cats version of the Apocabox February 2023 emergency fishing kit. I really like this. I'm really happy with what I've done with it. As I say, I'm vegan, I'm not going to fish, but if I ever need to fish, I now have extra stuff to fish with. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Toodles. This has been a 2023 Sleeping Terrier production.